Yeah, well, hello everyone. This is Jeral Rodriguez, Customer Success Manager at DeFiner, and your host for this, your DeFiner Live Update. Here we'll talk about the latest updates on everything DeFiner, who we are, what we do, because we want to give you the best DeFi experience in the industry. In this particular space, we'll talk about DeFiner's current developments, future plans, and most importantly, this is a place where you, as definers and everyone, can connect with each other, with our team, and with the broader DeFi and crypto community. So this is a space for you. So for those of you who are joining us during the live session or who will join us later, we want to start by saying both welcome and thank you. Great to have you in this conversation, and thank you for being a part of this wonderful community. Before we dive into our conversation today, I want to remind our listeners, all of you, that we'll have an open floor section right after the updates. So please keep your questions, comments, or remarks in mind. And for those that are joining us after the live event, because this event is being recorded, please post your questions, opinions, concerns in the comment section. We would love to hear from you. So, well, today I am very glad to have my colleague Ying, the partnerships lead at DeFiner, as co-host for this Twitter space. Ying has been with us at DeFiner for a little over a month now, and Ying, we're very happy to have you in our team. How are you doing, Ying?
Good. Thanks for the introduction, Jeral. I am good. Thank you for having me. It is a good Friday. It is a very good Friday. How about yourself?
Yeah, yeah, I'm doing great as well. Happy to be here. Friday, it's start of the weekend. I have some plans for the weekend, so yeah, it's a good day, and it's been a while since we last had our Twitter space. It's been a few months, and it's just refreshing to be here, refreshing to connect with the community. Yeah, I'm really happy to be here.
Love-
How about Ying? You're new in our team, relatively new, and for all of those of our listeners out there, how do you mind introducing yourself to our community? Let them know who you are and what you do.
Yeah, I love to. I love to. So hi guys. My name is Ying. Um, or I go by Ying Arena across all dimensions. That including Web3, Web 2.0, and Web 2. And it's been great working with the DeFiner team. And I love the ideology behind the HODLer Market, which is our newest product. And I can't wait for launch day. And again, for whoever listening right now, or for whoever is listening to the recording of this, come to the DeFiner space. Back to you, Jeral.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much. That's why it's so great to have Ying in our team, and great asset, and it's exciting to be working together and working with you, all of you definers and all the community. I'm pretty happy that we have this time together. And Ying, something that you forgot to mention, you forgot to mention Web 1 and Web 4, Web 5. Are you kind of into those as well?
Yes. When I say all dimensions, yes.
Yeah.
Web
So
1.
it's
I love that.
nice, nice. No, this is really the multiverse of DeFi, of
Yes, it
crypto.
is. Yes, when you think about it, it should be the it is the foundation of basically most of the things. So yes, I'm happy you brought it up. Yes, I
Right.
am in Web 1 as well.
Nice, nice. No, that's true. And we're here to give a little grain of salt and contribute to this environment. So yeah, earlier this week, we actually asked the community, right? We asked all of you about what we should discuss in today's session, and the two most voted topics were the HODLer market. Ying mentioned it in her intro. Its use cases and the liquidity issue proposal that I know we're all eager to know more about. And guess what we're going to chat about today? You got it. The use cases and the proposal and a few other things. We'll chat later about in our open floor discussion. We have the Ethereum merge looming, or it's already happened. So we'll discuss a few of that, some of that, and other things that we want you to talk about. So Before we move on to these topics, though, I would like to give you a quick product update that you might not be aware of, but I think it's pretty exciting to know. Our dev team is currently working on an integration with the Binance chain, guys. So this means that the HODLer Market will soon be available on 4 chains. We are now on Ethereum, Polygon, and OKX, but very soon Binance. And this is something that we want to push, right? Our multi-chain initiative. We want to be where you are as a user, and make this experience in DeFi more convenient, more effective, more valuable for everyone. So, hey, Ying, how about we start with the HODLer Market, right? What it is, maybe you can tell us a little bit about why people should care about it, projects and investors, users alike.
Yes, of course, of course. Perfect. Thank you for the weekly update. So the hollow markets. The hollow markets is the first feature products we have in DeFiner 2.0, and where it actually build a foundation of the permissionless and configurable lending future. And we believe that's where the DeFi ecosystem is moving towards. And DeFiner, we will like that. We will like to enhance that. And there are two things that we want to solve with the hollow market, which is the debt spiral and enhanced commitment. So there are actually few use cases. So the first one is it's very straightforward and easy to know that the hollow market is available for any ERC20 tokens. So are um, if you are a project, uh, that wants to, it's going to wait, hold on. So if you're a project that want to enhance commitment and avoid a death spiral, you can create a lending market for native tokens, and the native tokens haulers, and with a mechanism, lockup period and collateral factors, the projects can actually build and nurture the community. So that's the first use case, just for regular lending and borrowing. But we are vision this more than just lending and borrowing. Um, they actually feel there are a few interesting use cases for projects like NFTs, game and DAOs projects. For example, for the token lockup period, for the token generation event, so which is very good for newer projects. This can lower the selling pressure and really build a solid foundations for projects to focus on building the products with a peace in mind. Another lockup mechanism that is available for use case, which is for the LP tokens. So the projects can create LP tokens pool, and users who are committed and target for a long run, and they're willing to lock up their LPs in that pool. So we think that actually builds a very solid commitment around the projects and around the tokens. Um, Another use case we have is for initial loan offering. So the hollow markets give the projects an alternative for IDO and ICO. So instead of raising the money from the token sales with a high pressure and high expectations, the projects can simply raise funds through debt. And the projects can deposit their unlaunched tokens with a specification like the lockup period or interest rate, or like I said, the lockup period, and they can have this to borrow to stable coins against it. So we think this is very, very, very newer projects friendly, and for anyone don't want to have a high pressure selling, high selling pressure for newer projects and newer tokens. And
Ying, if you don't mind me stopping you right there, because I think this is very interesting what you're saying about the hodler market. So you're saying that because I see a lot of projects in the market that they want to answer the question, how do I stop the users or investors from dumping my token, right?
Mhm.
Like how do I stop that from happening? Because projects are coming. Launching their tokens, and sometimes they do like liquidity mining programs or whatever, and what happens is mercenaries come. But you're saying that with the hodler market, then that can be avoided, and there's another way of doing that. There's a solution for it.
Yes, we believe so. I think the current I believe the current issues that we're seeing in most of the DeFi projects, it is that it's lack of configurations. We think the only way, to have that, to, like you said, to avoid or to prevent that spiral is actually have configurable lending mechanism behind the pool. So for example, that you are newer projects and you are issuing a token, and normally people are going to hype around the tokens, and then people will hype it, the price go up, they will dump it. And with that is just, that is we call that mercenary liquidator. So they're only here for a short term. What we actually want to build for smaller projects is to build, with the products, and build with a project. So token is just part of it, right? And the whole thing is about commitment within the community. So in HODLer Market, it's like the main thing we're solving is how do we prevent, you know how do we prevent that spiral? And the answer is, to build a solid, committed community. Is that answering your question?
Yes, yes, it does. Thank you.
No worries. Actually, I have another use case, which is, I think, is very exciting, and I believe it's, it's very useful for projects like DAO, or like for projects like Guild. So, which is, we're available the use case for governance token. Um, the whole markets to generate, it's able to generate a governance token, to facilitate or to govern their own governance. So once they have so once the community start to deposit and lock their tokens in the pool, they're receiving the stake tokens, and they can convert that to a voting tokens through DeFiner tools, and they can use the voting tokens to vote. The reason we're building this is to help the DAO system or the voting system based on commitment, and grants the voting powers to the long-term supporters. So that's another one we think is fair. Another one that we think is very useful to build a committed community behind that. So those are the use cases that I would like to, I like to share with you. And there are actually more informations on our DeFiner blog. So if you are interested in use cases, just feel free to look at the blog, and feel free to contact me or Jeral. You know, and then if you are projects like that, and if you're concerned about this, or if you have questions about it, like, feel free to comment below. Perfect. So that's kind of my sessions for the users. Any questions from Daryl?
Yeah, well, no, and if let's question, I guess, to like what, like if I'm a user, right, and
Mm-hmm.
why, how does the HODLer market benefit me, or why should I care about it as a user, like some of us in this live session, or others
Mm-hmm.
later on? Yeah,
So you mean, if you are a token haulers, what does this benefit you?
yeah, yeah. Why is that important? Why would it be important to me?
First of all, I believe. First of all, I think if you're a token haulers, if you buy the tokens in the first place, you have some belief in that tokens, or you have some belief in the project in the first place, and you want the tokens to go to do good, right? And then and then we if you're a token haulers, the pool, it's a place where you can deposit your base tokens, or deposit your tokens in the pool, and then you're able to have liquidity against that. You can actually borrow against the project's tokens, so which give you a flexibility with liquidity, that you can actually use that stable coins to invest more, or use that stable coins to actually to cover the daily expense. Because we believe, like, if you are committed to that you're willing to take a long term, you're willing to take a long time to wait for the projects to grow. So that's something we think, for it it's it's a, I don't want to say it's a reward, but it's something good to give back to the token haulers, to have the flexibility to to deposit the native tokens, and then to borrow against it.
Right. Thank you. And I think that adding on to that as well, I would imagine like, the loyalty that the community has, it's expressed by engaging with the HODLer market. They get rewarded, as you said. So that's pretty cool. I think that's a great project. Later on, as we said, for those who are joining us later, we'll have an open floor where you can ask questions about what we're discussing, the HODLer market and other updates. For us. So thank you, Ying. And I know I in full disclosure, I put you on the spot. Thank you so much for that
No worries. It's all
for,
right. Yeah.
for the
It's
update. And yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, on my end, the other aspect we wanted to discuss that I think many of you are wondering about is the liquidity issue that and the liquidity issue proposal. So this liquidity issue on the DeFiner's savings contract has been a hotly discussed topic in our community for several months now. And trust me, our team has been listening to your comments, concerns, and even frustrations. And we have felt the impact of this issue. And mainly the chains that have been affected are the Polygon chains and the Ethereum chains. And our team has been working on a draft and an plan and execution of a proposal. And we do want to benefit everyone and solve this as soon as possible. As I interact with the community, I know some people are frustrated. It's their funds, right? Their money that are being affected, and sometimes this process, takes a while. It falls out of our hands sometimes, and we're doing our best to solve that. So, going along with that, some users, I've read a few comments from users, and they've speculated that this was either an attack to the protocol or a ruse devised by our core team to divert the funds into their own pockets. And simply these speculations, they could be further from the truth. Right? Tell me, like I have also like personally been affected by this issue as a member of the team. And the fact of the matter is that borrowers haven't paid off their loans, and those that are coming, those loans are coming from depositors. So now what we're having is that issue, right? Liquidity, like depositors cannot withdraw their funds because borrowers haven't, deposited those funds, and many of you saw that on our the app, right? The high APRs on the platform for a while. It was set to force borrowers to pay back, but many of them didn't do it. And we've not noticed as well that the underlying collaterals for most of the unpaid borrow positions are actually like small market cap tokens with low trading volume. So there's a lot that have been affecting is not just one thing, but it's even the broader market conditions that affect the trading volume and the token price actions, etc., have been kind of affecting it all at once. You all know what's happening in the market right now with the price actions and people being more cautious. So this is something that we're trying to solve with you. Many of you know that we posted on our Reddit channel and Reddit forum a proposal a few weeks ago about how to solve this liquidity issue fix. It's not we don't want to say come here and say it's perfect, but it's workable. It is practical, and the easy fix would be all borrowers out there pay back your loans on DeFiner, and that way we can continue this together. But I mean, it's a bit more complicated than this, right? We're dealing with people, different actors in our ecosystem, and the fix is likewise a bit complex, but we're trying to make it so that simple or as simple as we can that everyone can understand. We saw a few of you commenting and voting on this proposal. So as I said, more information is on our Reddit forum, so you can go on there and join our forum first of all. And to summarize, what this proposal is, or what it's meant to do, is first to help the user's principal be withdrawn, right? So that's the first and foremost objective of this proposal, because of the funds that you have deposited. And second, your accrued interest that you have earned over time, uh, you are being able to get that interest. But we know that that's coming in steps, and actually with the proposal, we provided a few suggestions for that. So first of all, we have what we can do as a protocol, as a team, as a community. First, we're removing the low market cap tokens, including the FIN token. Also, the collateral factor for all assets, we're bringing it down to zero, so that people don't borrow the assets. And then the maximum borrowing interest rate for all assets, we want to have it at 25% ish. So that to encourage borrowers to pay back their loans, and increasing the interest rate reserve factor for all assets to 99%. So yeah, we want to encourage borrowers, wherever you may be, to come pay back your loans or pay them off, and that way lenders, depositors can get their funds back, and we can all grow this community together. Because for some reason you came to DeFiner, and we at DeFiner, we want to make sure that we provide that the best experience in DeFi possible, that we can. So that's one thing, what we can do as a community, as a protocol, working together. Another aspect is the HODLer market. Ying, I think you did a great job kind of talking about HODLer market, its use cases, like why it is important for us at this moment, and why is the HODLer market important for this particular issue, right? The liquidity issue fix that we're all trying to get done. Not just the users, but the team, everyone. So we have a few things in mind that the HODLer market can do. So Ying and myself, we are working with potential partners, right, to expand our ecosystem and invite people to come and open up a HODLer market, especially projects and protocols in the chains that I've mentioned, Polygon, Binance, Ethereum, OKX, etc. So there are a few things that the HODLer market can do to help this issue. And first is there are three main fees for the HODLer market and HODLer market creators that they incur, that can be used as a whole or in part for fixing this issue. So the first is the creation fee. So for each market creator, there is a $150 fee reserved, so that with that amount, a percentage of it will be for alleviating, mitigating this liquidity issue. Also, we have the reserved mining fee. So for any market created and running liquidity mining, there is a 10% mining fee reserved to pay back the bad debt. So that's another way of solving this issue. And then we have the reserved interest fee. So for any interest generated through the market, the HODLer market, there is a 10% interest fee reserve. So of those fees, we will reserve a percentage to go towards resolving this issue. So that's another way of doing that. So through the HODLer market. So and last but not least is our team is considering the raise of a strategic round with the reserve FIN tokens to pay off the bad debt. So now, like currently, this proposal has been approved. It's being implemented as we speak. As we go to our app, you'll see that there are a few changes in the app, and it's because we want to start, fixing this liquidity issue and acting upon it. So you may be asking yourself the question. This is like the $1 million question, literally. Like, how can I get my money back, right? And I say, I believe that we can all get our funds back working together, also as a community, for DeFiner, for each of us, for ourselves, right? Like it's they're your funds, and we're presenting this proposal to help you get them back and do more with your crypto. We believe in DeFiner that in financial, and giving you the power, the financial power back to you, the users. So that's what we want to do. So Ying mentioned it earlier about the HODLer market, and that's something that we can do. So growing the DeFiner ecosystem by connecting us, Ying, to projects that would benefit from the HODLer market for their token, and us as well, right? You have favorite tokens that you use every day or every week or every month and regularly. So and you're involved with their communities as well. So we can work with them to create HODLer markets, and you and them are benefited from these rewards, this fixes of these issues, etc. So in plus, you get a revenue of that HODLer market, let's say for the treasure hunting program that is in our docs and our white paper. So please check our help center, our docs, to learn more about the HODLer market. Send us a DM right now on Twitter. Reach out to me or Ying directly on Telegram, Discord, Twitter, and we'll be more than happy to show you how to do this. So basically, we want to prioritize you as our DeFiner community and have this issue fixed as soon as possible. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say about the liquidity issue proposal. So far, we have more information on Reddit forum, of course. Ying, I think we can now open it up for discussion. What do you think about it? Q&A.
Thank you, Jeral. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I think I agree with you that we all need to work as a community, and I think we've been through that. That's why we have the mindsets to actually accomplish that. So I really believe that there are a lot of stake going on for the HODLer markets. Yeah, so it'll be fun.
Right.
Yeah, so let's open the conversation. I mean, if anyone at the in the audience, in the listeners, you want to come up to be a speaker, feel free to press it and feel free to raise your hand. Yeah, I think I kind of want to know more about what do you think about Ethereum merge or speculations around that. I mean, because it's only been, honestly, few days. Maybe I think it's only been a few days, and then you hear a lot of voices around that topic. So I'm really kind of curious about people in the audience. What do you guys think?
And I've already invited people in our audience to be speakers, so you
Yeah,
can
do you hear me?
speak up or raise your hand.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Hey,
Hey, guys.
Yeah, thank you
Hey,
very
guys.
much. Okay, so first time participating in any spaces. So yeah, okay, my main question obviously is about, do you hear me first of all?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my main question is obviously about the liquidity issue, okay? And so I don't know if you wanted to change argument, but to change subject, but that's what I wanted to talk about. And so I made a post in Twitter.
Please go
I'm
ahead.
ready, sorry.
Please go ahead.
Okay, so I actually made one post in Twitter, Reddit. Okay, let me check a second. So basically, two solutions, basically. One was posted on Reddit already. And so this one says, for example, we can start having in some way, and this was mentioned by Jason, and so I expanded that idea, and I talked about, for example, for smaller accounts, and doing it slowly, having some, in some way, compensation in fin, where, for example, I have my initial deposit, okay, for example, I 3.5x my account, basically, okay. So let's just say I want to just liquidate my account, and I can have fin equal to my initial deposit, okay. And so if you think, I already posted this on Reddit, so anyone that wants to say anything can comment. But what do you think on that? Do you think it can be done? At what pace can you really sell fin tokens this way? Because, even the liquidity is not that much.
Jeral, would you like to go with that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
give compensation, basically, to users that have deposited.
So what you're saying is
in fin token, equal to the original deposit.
Okay. So what you're saying is kind of having, like, using fin as a tokenized position of your deposits and in the savings contract. Yeah. Okay. So it could be an option. I see Jason. Jason is obviously our CEO and part of the product team. He's there. I wonder. I mean, I think that he's like the best person to answer that question. On my end, I would say, and going back to the HODLer market, and can I call you Telog or Telog 14?
Yeah, Telog is fine.
Telog, okay. Telog. So while we wait, I'm inviting him to be a speaker, but if while we wait, one of the use cases of the HODLer market is the ability to do something like that, kind of having a tokenized position. Let's say you have the Fin token, and people have like a stake on the Fin token. There's a HODLer market for the Fin token, and it's like a similar to like an airdrop lockup, but you have the claim of that Fin, but it's locked up for a specific period of time, and that's basically you can with that Fin, right, while it's locked up, or that's locked up mechanism, you can use those funds for borrowing and lending and earning other stables in the market, so it unlocks more capital for you, but at the same time you stay within the DeFiner ecosystem, right? That is not that, we're giving, because what we want to prevent happening is what we talk about, the death spiral, the mercenary capital. Like, hey, let's say we give away like the Fin token as the tokenized position, right? And you get that reward. Who's to say that people will use the Fin token and sell it, right? And that's gonna affect all of us, as a community behind DeFiner. So that's what that could be a use case for the HODLer market on that end. But now I see Jason that accepted to be a speaker. Perhaps, Jason, you have more insight into Telog's question. Are you there, Jason?
Yeah. I think
Okay.
that's a good proposal. I mean, you can propose it over Reddit to see how the Fin token holders respond. But I think in short term, it's an option. And Jeral mentioned the HODLer market. I think it makes more sense than like to issue the stake Fin, and it's probably stake for like half a year or 1 year, but it's going to be a period of time to recover. And the staked position is treatable over the swap. So if you want to cash out and leave early, you can do so. But it's similar to the staked Ether. Maybe the Fin price is a little below the current Fin token price. But I think that in that way, that makes more sense to swap the position with the staked Fin token throughout the market.
Thank you, Jason. Telog, does that answer your question?
I can follow up, I think. So, no, I think, okay, yeah, it makes sense, obviously, I think the main problem is, having already, like, in some way, a thing is considered, I mean, I don't want to say bad things, but in some way, it's this farm token that you take and dump, okay? No offense to anyone. But that's how I see a lot of these tokens in DeFi, that people just take care as rewards and they immediately sell it. And I think it in some way happened, for example, and then I've seen this with Luna, for example, because I remember with Luna, and I bought Luna as it was falling. What happened was the lending rate skyrocketed to like 16,000%, something crazy, okay? But really what was happening is that whales were just borrowing the token and then dumping it on the market, right? So they would, I don't know, they had dollars put up as collateral and then borrowed Luna, and then they dumped Luna, so their loan goes down. And so I think in some way that's what was happening with also Fin, in my opinion, okay? That you can give my opinion. So I think a plan like this, I think you have to see what's the liquidity. I think that there is obviously, I think, an intrinsic problem in having a farm token, I think, that hasn't been necessarily solved, okay? Like, in some way, the thing is almost like it's destined to go down in price in some way. Do you agree or disagree?
Yes, agree. So I think we need, you can have that conversation started, and people will add more, comments, right? And if there's enough people, then we can put that into proposal. But you're right. We need a stable, like a token price, and to prevent people just keep dumping and borrowing, and maybe add a borrow limit cap in the borrow pool, and in this way, it's prevent what happens like Luna, right?
Yeah, that was extreme, and they also, I think Luna Foundation printed some trillions of tokens too. Okay, I'm not saying that's the only thing. Okay, but I think that happens in DeFi, like in some way. I mean, in any market. Okay, and by the way, okay, so I also had the second idea that I just briefly mentioned. Okay, I just have to check Discord for a second. So basically, okay, my idea was, let's just say I have an initial deposit of $10,000. And I have accrued 20K of interest. So right now I have 30K in total. Okay, in DeFiner, I've deposited and there is no liquidity. Okay, now let's just say that I can sell half of my account gets liquidated, and half of the other half I can basically sell the initial deposit. In this case, it's 10K. And a buyer could basically buy my 15K, so half of what I deposited in total, and has to pay 11K. So my initial deposit 10K plus a 10 commission fee to DeFiner. Okay. Do you think it's clear?
Yeah.
Again, I repeat it. I can repeat it. So basically, I have 10K, I have 20K of interest. Now I sell 15K to a buyer that pays 10K to me and 1,000, 10% to DeFiner. Okay, so he pays 11K to have his position in the liquidity pool, and obviously of 15K, and he has to wait. He obviously has to wait to get money out, and has to bet that there is going to be enough liquidity for him to withdraw, and has to wait and all of this stuff. Okay, a way of monetizing that in DeFiner in general. If you think it's a good idea, okay, and there's some revenue stream through commissions.
Yeah. So currently the position is not tradable because we are different from Compound. Like right now, the protocol issue the position token to you, so your position and interest are not tradable right now. Yeah.
Yeah, my battery was low. Sorry. So it's not. You can't really do this right now.
Yeah. Right now, you cannot trade your position.
Could you in future?
In the future, we are looking into that, and actually, it's the plan for the HODLer market. So we want to make your position tradable. So then you have more options to exit.
Yeah, and I had another question. If that's fine, all of these questions.
Yeah,
so,
go ahead.
No, I think so. Okay, I saw the liquidity proposal. Okay, from DeFiner. Okay, and I saw this target of 50 million TVL. Okay, do you know like how much you can reach in TVL in the next, let's just say year? Okay, like how much TVL can you actually get in the next year?
I think that goal is achievable. There's a reason. I think for the HODLer market, it's very innovative lending protocol, and it works for all the projects. Just think about like we can if we can onboard in like 100 project, right? Each project we just need 500,000 TVL. Then we have 50 million TVL. So that's what we are going to do. So and also in that way, like we make it more permissionless, and once we get pool started and more project know this, especially those NFT and GameFi project, they are not that good developing their own like DeFi contract to do staking and borrow against their position. So I see it's the trend, like we'll start to open a HODLer market to encourage their user to stake for a period of time, and if they need money, they can borrow against. And we encourage them to run the liquidity mining through the HODLer market, for example, LP mining, because I feel it's very useful. So I think it's achievable with like 100 HODLer market open. Each market have like roughly average like 500,000 TVL. Then it's around the 50 million. Because remember, for compound RV, if people deposit, they can withdraw anytime. But with HODLer market, that's also an option. Most of them will have a lock-in period, so it's just simply onboarding project, encourage them to do liquidity mining through the protocol, and then we can achieve more TVL. Also, each liquidity mining they run through DeFiner, and we will take a cut, a percentage, between like 5 to 10%, and those revenue will be used to pay back the bad debt on the platform as well. So that's why I think we can work together. If you know any good projects, especially those one who is going to issue tokens and who is looking to build in their community, I think that's a number achievable in the next 1 year.
And just to add on to what Jason said, and thank you, Jason, for the latter part about, if you know any projects, these markets are isolated, right? Isolated lending markets, lending pools. So, which means that they won't be affected by what's happening on like the savings contract or other markets on the HODLer market. Yeah. Taylor, does that answer your question?
Yeah. I'm charging my phone because my battery is dying. Okay, yeah, I understand in general. Okay, my opinion obviously is I think 50 million. I just checked, by the way, DeFi Llama, and it says DeFi is 50 billion. So, and it's more like a general market cap. It doesn't mean like it's a very liquid, and so let's just say 50 million technically. I think it's going to take years. Okay, but it's fair, I guess.
Yeah, I think once we achieve that, I think those liquidity issues will gone as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And feel free, Telog, as Jason invited you, to present the proposal. I mean, you have great ideas. I think you have something on Reddit as well, so that's great. If you have more information or something else you want to share, please do and let us know. And I mean, we can help you kind of share with the community.
I think. I mean, not really, but I think that DeFiner. I think DeFiner should get into NFTs because that shit is popping.
Thank you. That's actually part of our roadmap, Telog. Get into NFTs and NFT lending.
NFTs and pay to earn. And then I don't know what's next.
Yeah, and DeFiner 2.0. So thank you, Telog, for the suggestion. It's part of our roadmap, and we're working on that. And right now we're focusing on the HODLer market. But yeah, you'd be surprised at the predictions that we're making, and with NFT projects, GameFi in general. So. Yeah, thank you, Telog. I really enjoyed, liked your questions and great questions.
Yeah, I know. I'm great.
Yeah, you're great. Telog, thanks.
Fucking good.
Awesome. No, great to have you as part of our DeFiner community. Are there any other questions or comments from, I don't know if Paul, you had something to say?
Yeah, hi guys, Paul here.
Hi, Paul.
Appreciated this Twitter space and constant development of the protocol and communication with us users. I would also like to ask two questions regarding this proposed solution to this liquidity issue. I believe that we should follow the route that was proposed by Jason and the team, like the official one, and really appreciating your contribution. I just you mentioned, and this is definitely mentioned in the description of your proposal. It's one of the first topic is the removal of fin token from the lending market, which in my opinion, of course, is a good idea, since the liquidity of this one created mostly this problem. So, but I would like to go into the technicals and ask you how are you basically planning to do it with all this debt outstanding against the fin token? I just cannot grasp this concept. How in practice will it look like?
So because it's a comprehensive proposal, right? There's another element in that proposal is using the revenue from the HODLer market to recover some debt. So I think that will be set up to recover the debt the bad debt, actually not that much, and then move that token step by step, basically lower the outstanding borrow position, and then give a window for the fin holder to withdraw it. And once they withdraw all the fin tokens, and then we can just delete the fin token from the savings pool. But at the same time, we open a fin token market over HODLer market, and we will run some liquidity mining program there, and the token holders will also naturally migrate from the savings to the HODLer market.
Okay, that's more understandable to me
Yeah.
now when you so it will be ruled out gradually, as
Yeah.
I understand. So
Yeah.
it's not like okay. So this is my first question. My second question is concerning the liquidity reserve factor, which has been set on a very high level. I don't really understand how would it contribute towards solving the issue, because as I understand, the current depositors, which even don't have any borrows, when the liquidity comes and they want to withdraw their principal, they will not get any interest, because it will all go into this reserve. How is it going to be, let's say, managed in a way that is not harmful to the current depositors whose deposits are basically freezed up right now?
Yeah. So the reason why we put that is when we the team and all the community to promote the HODLer market, and then there are some new users coming, and when the new users come in, they want to play around, because the HODLer market is still in the beta, and they probably go to the savings, and once they deposit, they cannot withdraw, because once the new user deposit, other people just withdraw immediately, so the new user cannot withdraw. So we are thinking, you need to promote the HODLer market and make it profitable. First, you need to make sure.
Sorry, Jason, but I understand that HODLer market will be completely separate to the current lending facility, or it won't.
It is separated, but the new user right now, they also try the savings, right? They come to the site and they will play HODLer market. They will play around the savings as well.
Yeah.
So to do so, first we can ensure the new users, when they come to HODLer market, if they deposit in the savings, they can withdraw. Second is because there's a period of time like a very high APR, like 200%. I think most of the time, even the borrower pay back, and actually people really make profit from these 200 APRs, right? So, and they get the but the principle of this solving the issue is, first, no more new users will become the victim. Second, users will get their principal back first if they want, right? That's the principle behind this interest reserve factors.
Yeah, I understand that pretty clearly, but you would, but in any way, the current users, when they finally are able to withdraw their funds, they they will get only 1% of interest that they should be getting.
No,
Is it? Am I understanding correct with this reserve factor set at 99%?
So if you because it's not going to be 99% forever. Once the liquidity issue resolved, it's going to be back normal. So that's the good way. If you want to stay, you stay until this issue solved completely, and then you still can get your 100% your interest, right? I mean, but there are users, they want to exit early, then they exit with their principals. So that's the ideas.
Okay. Thanks for replying. Maybe some final statement from my side. As you see that this problem with liquidity, really, for the project to move on, I believe that this needs to be handled efficiently, as it would weigh on the future development. And it's good that you've been actively focused on solving that one. And what to say? Wishing you all the best, and hoping looking forward to this exciting HODLer Market idea, and hoping it's going to surpass your expectations and our expectations as the current protocol users as well.
Yeah. I think
can I
once.
can I tell you? Okay, you talk 1 second. Sorry, I wanted to intervene, but if you want to talk,
Okay, no problem. I mean, if we have the how the market successfully launched and serve the market, and I think it's going to be resolved. And for the users, like if they want to stay and survive or prosper together, then they still will get their interest. So you are not lose it. But if for the user who want to exit early, and they can do. So I think it's a I mean, that's just several reasons behind this proposal, right?
yeah, I wanted to say
Yeah, go
one thing.
ahead.
No, I said this before about, I think having the option, if there's ever going to be possible to sell your account, let's just say I've 3x my money, now I sell half of that to someone. I think I already said it before, but I think that's like an incredible, like it's incredible if it can be put off.
Yeah.
Really, like
Yeah.
if I don't know. If I 4x my money since OK chain was at 300%, right? Like, and that happened basically. It's half x, okay. And I want to sell half of that to someone, and then the guy that pays even a commission fee, right? You slash the debt, okay, and so it's a lot easier to remove this debt out of. I already said it before, but okay.
Yeah.
And I want to say another thing. If you want to comment, you can comment now. And I want to say another thing, by the way.
Yeah, I think this is good feature, and we actually put that feature in the pipeline for the HODLer Market actually. So with the HODLer Market, actually you can sell your position. There's going to be a token issued to you to represent. If you want to transfer someone else, you can. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I wanted to. Yes, I wanted to intervene because from what I understand, and obviously I should test it probably, but I wanted to ask about the other market. Right? It's more like DeFiner right now with lockup coins and then lockup periods and something similar, right? It's similar to the DeFiner the way right now, right? Where you can use lockup tokens and borrow against each other, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and obviously my concern is, how do you, with these lockup tokens where someone can just, dump and, as you have to liquidate people, right? Like you just have to liquidate position in DeFi, and it's simple, but how do you manage very liquid position and you can have this one candle that literally like fucks the protocol up, right? Like it could easily happen, and I think it's going to happen. When you think about it, like whales, anyone that has a lot of tokens can just dump on them, and let's just say they borrow one token and then they dump in one candle 90%, okay? And they have a borrow open, right? And they fuck you up because you cannot sell and you cannot liquidate the position. Like, how do you think around that? Okay,
Yes.
because
yes.
it's going to happen. Like, do you understand? It's not like the get money. Like someone is going to try to do it. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's a good question. Also, we already think about that. So in the HODLer Market, we add one configuration called maximum borrow you can have for that token. For example, if it's a very small cap token, we can set up, the maximum they can borrow from the pool is like $100,000 of $50,000, and so it will cover, a different stage of tokens. Like some is also very big market cap token, some is smaller one. But I think with that configuration, that will limit how much people they can borrow from the pool and how much tokens they can put there. So that will solve this problem.
Yeah, now you test it well because again,
yeah,
people can be fast in doing this thing. They do I mean, I'm not like the technical experts, okay, but they would just dump the token and just say they have collateral or something, dump the token, right? Then they borrow, and they do it like in one block to each other. Okay? One block, then one block, and you don't have physically like the way of reacting to that.
Yeah, I think we learn a lot from this saving market with tokens. So that lessons is already in the design of the HODLer market.
Yeah, I hope that's true, because again, a lot of these things are automated, so there are bots that just immediately do all of this in. Do you understand what I mean? Like in seconds, because it's not like I'm doing it. It's a bot, like some edge. Do you understand?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That's the reality.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's all. I mean, be careful. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Yeah, everything's in place where immediately safety measures where immediately you just grab. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Telog and Paul, for your comments, for your questions. Thank you. And yeah, we're working and with you to make sure that we provide a product and a solution that works for all of us in the end. So, well, I think if that's okay, we can finish our space here. I just want to thank all of you. Thank you for tuning into our space today. Really enjoyed our session. Didn't you, Ying?
I loved it. I think this is what I have imagined when we're planning for the Twitter space. I love interacting with communities and listening to their feedback, and this is what we're gonna do.
Right. No, thank you. And this is one of many. Many more will come, and we want you to be a part of them. And invite your friends or other people in the community. We want to make sure that this is a safe space for us to chat about these topics and other topics as well. So as I mentioned earlier, this session is being recorded and will be available for you on Twitter and later on our YouTube channel. So please go on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. Love to for you to get the notifications on there for the new videos that we'll be uploading. And for those of you who are joining us later, feel free to contact us and find ways to collaborate, add value to your community and to ours as well. We'll be posting a few resources for you in the description below in our video or YouTube channel and about our discussion today, so that you can stay in the know. And also, if you want to keep up to date with the latest news from DeFiner, keep in touch with us, please follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our channel, join our Telegram community, Discord, and you can find those links to our social media channels on our Twitter profile in the description below. So thank you. Excuse me. So write down your questions or comments in the section, and we'll see them again over time and respond to them. We want to make sure that we're connected with you, because you make this happen. You make DeFiner happen. So and again, thank you so much for being here, and until next time, Jeral
and Ying.
Yeah, right here. Great to be with you. Well, ciao now. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Bye.